I don't know. Well, damn. Silver's actually up early for a change. That's a new one. Hey, Silver, how's it going? I figured I'd actually come up here for the first time in ages. One, I can more directly interact without that little disconnect. And two, I haven't been here in a while, so whoever doesn't get my notification... Oh, I'm right there with you, Silver. Hey, guess what? Remember that thing with the food disappearing? Yeah, it's the landlord that's doing it. He's got food and he's stealing everybody else's. Not kidding. He's stealing everybody else's food. I'm still not sure how exactly I'm going to handle this one. Needless to say, I'm not very happy. Since I had most of my, what little I had of a check go into that, and then another sock to my bank account because of that, because I had to choose between that, apparently that and food. Actually, no, it was more of a bank thing that caused it, but even still. Ah! So I took a double sack from that. I have my food in, like, the mini fridge right now that I had to go and get. So what I'm debating on doing is actually going, okay, since you want to steal from me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take it out of this. The overdraft, the food that I had to spend to replace what I've been replacing to feed someone that actually has a cupboard full of food. And while we're at it, the day that I had to lose from work because he didn't pay his damn bill. All right. So if he wants to lose, half of the rent off the bat, I guarantee he ain't gonna like that. But whatever. I almost did this on YouTube, but I haven't done this in a while. Here, so I still don't know who realizes I actually am on YouTube. And it's an early enough time that there should be enough people around and be like, hey! It sounds like you're not having that great of a day yourself. Mandy messaged me yesterday and she's like, how you doing? And I'm like, it's bad. And she's like, that bad? I'm like, that bad. And I just left it at that. I'm like, it's that bad. Because I've had between that and 3 straight days of tech issues and some of the nastiest people I think I've ever had on a phone line. Oh, you love this one, actually. Because I got one about Apple IDs and such. Hey, Bullet, how you doing today? I got one about, like, Apple IDs and such. You'll actually get a kick out of this, because I told them, okay, this is a phishing email. This means they're trying to get your information. Leave it alone. Don't click on anything. Oh, wait, what? I'm sorry, sir, what are you doing? Oh, I just clicked on the link. No, I just told you don't click on the link. What are you doing? Yeah, I clicked on the link and now I'm filling out the information and I just hit continue. I literally just told you, do not do that. It's phishing, it's trying to get your information. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. That's a terrible idea. Hashtag Admiral Akbar, it's a freaking trap, son. Okay? Oh, yeah. Absolute idiots. And thank you for the 2,000 likes. Holy cow. But it's a trap. It's a freaking trap, man. But, so you'll love this. So then I have to go through, and now, he finally wants to listen. Oh, and he's getting upset. He's like, oh, it's really discouraging that this kind of thing pops up over the internet. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, yeah, Cause JSBS's angels came down from heaven with their cybernetic Amish powers and connected USBs into your brain and forced you to type in the thing the dude told you not to do. I mean, I always thought the singularity and the robot revolution would have come through, like, YouTube or something like that, but apparently it shows what I know. No, they're going to come down and have this guy enter in all of his information, including his credit card information, on a site that is trying to get that to scam him. And go haywire with his credit card info. You know how that usually works out. And then comes the magical, mystical question that everybody loves. So what should I do now? And right around this time, I've got this song that's playing through my head. I wanna hold your hand, because he's expecting me to handhold him. He's expecting me to handhold him through this. I mean, it's bad enough he went for an obvious trap, even after the guy told him not to do it. So he's gonna turn around, and then he's gonna ask me, well, what do I do? I don't know, genius. You just entered your credit card information in the wrong place. What the hell do you think you do? You gave them your ID, you gave them your password, so they can get into your account now. You gave them your goddamn credit card. What the hell do you think you're going to do? I mean, do you actually use that head for something other than a hat rack? Really? 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 God damn it, you voted for Hillary last year, didn't you? You voted for any of them last year, didn't you? Jesus H. Jiminy Cricket on a pogo stick in a freaking bonfire. And I'm like, what do you mean, what should I do now? Well, yeah, what should I do now? This is a bad situation, right? Yes, sir, I would say this is a pretty bad situation. That's why I was telling you, don't do it. But now that that's done, there are clearly things you gotta take care of. Like what? Come again? Like what? I understand we have this thing for competition. Idiocracy was a movie. It was not supposed to be an incentive. Oh, not just call the bank. Because if they've got your Apple ID and your password, they can log into iTunes. And if they have your credit card on top of that, they can rack up multiple purchases. Like hundreds and hundreds of purchases. Like that, before you even knew what hit you. It's always better, if you get a problem email and you think there might be something wrong for even a second, then you call. That is what you do. And you don't click a damn thing. So I'm like, no sir, you need to go into your account information, sign in and change stuff. Well, how do I do that? Guy's had an Apple ID for at least 10 years and he's telling me he doesn't know how to sign in on account information. I'm sorry, there is a limit even for freaking handholding. I'm like, sir, how you okay. Apple ID site. How do I sign in with this? Keep in mind, it's very simple. You put in an Apple ID, you put in your password, you go in, you change information. There is no need to handhold for this. Like, Ray Charles could figure this stuff out, and he's blind. Just saying. A child could figure it out. You don't need me to handhold you. Not for that. Not for that. So he gets in, okay, now how do I change this password? Yeah, you know the spot that says security? Click edit. Okay, now what? Change password. Oh, do I want to do that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do. Pretty sure you do. That's a good idea. Might want to get on that. And I'm like, sir, they have access to your account. Or they will have access to your account. What do you think? Really? I'm sorry, I have a pet peeve towards... Well, not a pet peeve, but it's one of those that just grates on my nerve to no ends, which is like terminal stupidity. Holy freaking... Holy majestic screaming eagle on a pogo stick, damn it. Okay, so I changed my password. Am I good now? That depends. Remember that part where you said that you gave them your credit card information? Is that correct? Yeah. Then I think you have one other step to make, don't you? I guess so. Sir, there is no I guess so. You gave them your credit card information. You need to call the bank. Like, right now. Like, yesterday. Like, you need to get off the phone with me. You need to call the bank. And you need to tell them to cancel that card. Before you wind up paying for somebody else's, like, cruiser liner pleasure. Oh, okay, I guess I'll get right on that then. Yeah. That's a great idea. You might want to get on that. I mean, it's... Thank you for the 400 likes. I mean, it's not like, oh, your entire credit history depends on it. No big deal, nothing to worry about. Just your entire financial future, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy with a flippin' headset. I take these calls 24/7, and I generally use my head for something other than a goddamn hat rack. Although when I do use it for a hat rack, I will say that's one of the few fabulous things that I can actually pull off. I don't have many of them, so I take pride in the few that I do. Topic kind of various. Right now I was just talking about, tech support stories. So that's kind of is the topic so far. Topic is pretty much well open at this point. Because really, I will talk your ear off about just about anything under the sun. Anime, games, movies, TV shows, politics, crazy YouTubers that nobody really likes except their fan cults. You can't really say their name, though, because if you say it 3 times like Bloody Mary, it's almost like natural selection bingo. You win it, and then the Grim Reaper comes out to, like, euthanize you. Oh, you figured it out in one! Yeah, good old Fruit Loops. Lupus. Otherwise known as Munchie-Lovania. Munchie-Lovania. I do have a t-shirt design that I've started working on, called Munchie-Lovania. And the funny thing is, if you've ever seen Sans, and he's got that little hoodie on, it just makes that much more sense. And it says, at the top it goes, Munchie-Lovania, at the bottom it says, you're going to have a bad time, kid. Just saying. Oh, I love this fibromyalgia thing. Although my personal one is, what was it? It was fibromyalgia, grape flavor, except it recently mutated to a watermelon, so now you know it's terminal. I haven't figured out how the whole Teespring stuff goes yet, but I have a couple of different ones. I've actually been making ideas for that and like a mock TV show. I'm not sure what the quality of that mock TV show is going to be. Fibromyalgia. Used to be grape flavored. Now it's watermelon flavored, and before the end of the week it's probably going to be chicken flavored. You see where I'm going with this, right? Ray Charles does. Ray Charles sees all. You think he doesn't see anything behind those shades, but he knows. He knows. I'm not saying he's Santa Claus, but they've never been seen in the same room. But no, I've had a couple of different t-shirt ideas I might be doing sketches on before too long. Like, you know you're having a bad day when Murphy sends you sympathy cards. Like, hey, Batman, I'm sorry, but that's fucked up, even for me, and I'm Murphy. For the love of mittens, kittens, and sunshine. It's all good, I just need the safe word for life. Actually, I made it shorten it down, I just need the safe word for life. Facehugger Jesus. He was also revived in 3 days. And he will magically transform the lives and environments of your friends and family. When Moses parted the Red Sea to help get the Egyptians away from you. Mental Section 8. Because everybody seems to love that one. The thing that I like about this is, that I could probably get the actual mental Section 8 people to wear this. So at this point, I've actually successfully got them to wear warning labels. I'm really looking forward to that one, because if it sells, they're like, hey, I'm mental Section 8. And I'm like, one of my goals in life has been achieved. I have now managed to get them to wear warning labels. Nice. Very nice. Holy Majestic Screaming Eagle, a pogo stick. I'm not the greatest at drawing birds, so I'm not exactly sure how that one's going to work. But I imagine that would actually be a really catchy t-shirt, so I'm working on that. And then, of course, Munchie Lovania, you're going to have a bad time with a Sans parody of everybody's favorite fruit, lupus. I actually started designing that on a hoodie, no less. And actually what I will probably do if I ever get around to finishing this thing, because you know how it is with me and finishing things these days, I'll turn around and, like, say, give one to good old Negs and be like, here you go. From one fibromyalgia survivor to another. Mine escalated into fibromyalgia, watermelon flavored, but it's not too late for you. This is what happens when I get out and take a morning walk and such, and all of a sudden I'm like, hold on, I'm feeling like refreshed now. Oh god, hold on. And I've already been starting to set up like a news show format of sorts. Basically, what I'm gearing up for this is something like, 30 minutes or so, like a 30-minute program, and then like 4 to 5 different articles, which, again, most of the stuff on here may either be parodies or it might actually have actual news in it. Don't count on the actual news. 4 to 5 articles, sports, the weather, commercials, and I can have fun with commercials. Oh, I have no problem doing that. I love, whenever I have money to spare, one of the things that I actually like to do is donate. And I have, frequently. In fact, since I was a kid, and actually gave my Christmas money that I had received to the Salvation Army. That was when I was like 6 or 7 years old. And then what I would do in my later teens, because they had a thing where you would like pay frequently through the year, and you'd give yourself like, you'd have a nice Christmas as a result, and it was just, I forget exactly the setup for it, but what I did was I would go off and I'd make a Christmas list, and I'd get everybody Christmas gifts. If I knew you, I'd figure out something. Didn't even care. It's been a little bit since I've donated to the, It's been a little bit since I've donated to the Salvation Army. Actually, it's been a little bit since I've made much in the way of donations, playing catch-up. But, and of course, today you have to really be careful about who you donate to, because, dear Lord, I tell you what, it's hard to find organizations where they actually get a majority of the money to the actual cause. So if it actually gives money to the actual cause, hey, I'm for it. If it supports veterans, awesome. If it supports battered men or women, awesome. If it helps, a shelter for homelessness or an incentive program to keep them off the streets, awesome. If it's anything for actual mental health, amazing, absolutely. It's not the easiest thing, but I mean, again, that's the stuff that I would generally, and of course, anything for like relief effort and relief aids. Anything like that. Because we don't have enough of those. Actually, you'd be a little surprised, Silver. I was actually surprised to see some of the numbers on that shit myself. It's been on the rise since 91. The women's rates have been going down, and the guys' rates have actually been going up. And I think part of that is also that it incorporates some LGBT statistics in there as well, because there's been a lot of battering going on within that, none of which is particularly good. And then, of course, I still have this one. I'm just not wearing it at the moment. I'll pull it out for you. Which is branded This is something that's on Nashville. It's in Nashville. I think it's across the country as well. And that's people that have been survivors of human trafficking and so on. This thing does not make you like designate you as a. It does not designate you as a survivor of such. It just basically what Branded does. They have programs towards survivors of such things, and they help them get their lives back on track. And these little brand things, it's not just a show of support, but it also makes a little bit of money for the charity as a whole that actually does go to the survivors. And it goes towards, again, therapy, self-improvement, learning life skills. Some of them, they ran away at an early age. Some of them were actually put through it by family members or friends. And it was just a horrible experience. Needless to say, that's one of those things that I tend to feel very strongly about. So that's why I went and got one of these little things. I showed up during the Rivers and Spires and stuff. So if you ever see me wearing it, that's kind of why. That's what it comes down to. So if I have the cash and I can donate to a cause, then I absolutely will. And of course, if anybody has causes or anything like that, and they want to either pass them along, give me something to look into, cool. I'll look into it, and then I'll plug it ASAP. As far as people blaming the victims of human trafficking, we've seen this firsthand with old Fruit Lupus. When people want to believe something so bad, the stuff that they find... Oh, hey, you too. Have a great Sunday, Jen. Thank you for stopping by. Hope your day only gets better. And your week. But, when people want to believe something badly enough, the lengths that they will go to dismiss it, to come up with excuses for it, are just unbelievably asinine. And it's just, again, that's why I've said this whole Fruit Lupus bullshit is just a microcosm. It's a small part of a greater malady. It just shoves it in our faces and reminds us how fucked up it really is. Because if this is what we see on the small scale, then that tells you just how fucked up the larger scale is. If a relative nobody on YouTube can get away with that much bullshit, what about the people that are like really up there in the power bases and the power charts? What does that say about the shit they can get away with? And it's an eye-opener. It's one of those that it pulls it right in front of your face and goes, oh shit. Many of the folks that are actually insulted by all this stuff, I don't think they realize that that's probably why they're really insulted. It isn't so much because she's a train wreck, and she is a train wreck. It's because it reminds us that if a train wreck on this small scale of relative nobody can get away with so much garbage and being such a dumpster fire, then it says a lot about what somebody in the top tiers can get away with. And that's not okay. It's actually really fucked up. So, that's one of the parts of it that bothers me the most, really. And that it's weird. I've called it a narcissist's battle royale in which nobody wins. But it's like each one of these tries to see exactly how much they can get away with and what they learn from all the others. So lately I've been saying something to the equivalent of, what really bothers me is which one of her damn disciples is going to take her damn place. Training camp for the mentally Section 8. Hashtag Akbar, it's a freaking trap, man. Oh, I know. Telling you, hashtag mental Section 8, Munchie Lavania. You're gonna have a bad time, kid. Tell you what. I actually thought more people would be on right around this time. I figured I'd give it enough time for everything to get going. Yes. Now you're sucked back in. Do the whirlpool. Just watch out for the dizzy, man. That black hole thing. Well, actually, no, with black holes, there's that part where time just generally stops. So that's a thing, but the other whirlpool stuff, man, that's just going to make you dizzy, so you might want to kind of brace yourself along the rails. Oh, wait! I'm talking about the crazy train. It has no rails. Well, sorry, I tried. That's the thing about the crazy train. It doesn't have rails to hold on to. Oh, good God. Maybe that's why her damn disciples are so freaking mental. There's got all that spinning around, going around. It's like putting somebody in like sticking somebody in like a washing machine. That also explains the crazy looks in most of their faces. It's like, it just like so many concussions to the head from being in that situation, spin cycle, you know, they finally just lost what remains of their minds. I don't know. That's still nicer than half the crap they say about me, which is actually kind of funny. I hear this stuff about Dark Souls, and it's funny because I know it's the same guy. He's made it plain that he has multiple accounts. But every time I hear Dark Souls now, I'm like, why are you confusing me with a video game and can I get that sweet armor? No, seriously, that guy can rock some freaking armor. I mean, you want to call me Dark Souls? Give me the armor, and for the love of God, give me the damn inventory. You know, give me the inventory, I'll take that. Broadswords, tonfas, that guy's got a freaking arsenal that would make Fort Knox start getting giddy. Sure, I'll take that. Dark Souls! Dark Souls! Dark Souls. No, sir, Dark Souls is a video game, and if you have a problem with people calling you a cult, you probably should stop talking like you sipped the Kool-Aid and somebody spiked it. I'm not a Dark Soul. Hell, according to the woman herself, I supposedly don't have one. Either I'm a Dark Soul or I don't have one. You know, you can't have both. Make up your mind. And either I am the one, I am half responsible, or I am the complete catalyst that's responsible. Again, make up your mind. I'm surprised at what I can do just by sitting on my computer playing a game, but that's not the craziest thing that I have ever heard. Oh, that Kool-Aid is so salty they confused it with ocean water. Then the ocean water gave up and quit because even it can't compete with that. That kind of Kool-Aid is what slugs use for suicide. Just saying. Oh, there's a good t-shirt idea. That Kool-Aid's so salty, slugs use it for suicide. Oh no. When your Kool-Aid is that salty and there's like a suicidal emo slug that's just sitting there going, gulp, 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 gulp. There you go. Oh, no, no, no. If you believe fibromyalgia allows you to jog, you might just be willfully ignorant. If you're talking about Dark Souls and thinking that joy has a special purpose to, cleanse the world of that, then you might be in a cult. When you start talking like something that came out of the Manson clan, or something that came out of Jim Jones, or an overzealous, Jehovah's Witness, and you replace their shtick with JSBS, that's when we're getting into cult territory. Like, when it gets bad enough that Jehovah's Witnesses start knocking on their door not to spread the word, but telling them they need to tone it down a bit, you know it's going too far. Like Scientology, yeah, Scientology. Scientology is sitting back there, L. Ron Hubbard is like rose from the grave, and he's sitting there taking notes going, why didn't I think of that? And even Murphy ain't touching that one. No, Jen, so many flavors, but they didn't pick the one that worked with natural selection. I don't know, maybe this kind of thing is the modern day natural selection. Just saying. Stay salty, friends. For those of you that actually remember that one. Also, hello, Lizzie. I do not recall having seen you before. I hope you are doing well, having an awesome day, all that good stuff. You always got to be careful about people on YouTube. It goes back to network. The people lie like hell. They'll tell you what you ever want to, whatever you want to hear. They'll tell you that, it's always good over at Archie Bunker's house. Dinner's on time. Nobody ever gets cancer. All that stuff. They will tell you whatever you want to hear, and they will call it truth. But you're never going to get any truth from them. You are never going to get any truth from them. You're going to get the sparkles. They'll tell you it's joy, but there ain't no joy there. Come on now. Just a whole lot of bullshit. They lie because their lies get you attention. If they create drama, it gets you attention. If they create a problem for someone, it gets them attention. And as long as they have enough subs for that attention, and enough people that will agree with it, because some people do like to be bullies, and like tends to attract like, and if it gives them an excuse to be bullies, yeah, they'll cling to that. They don't really care what happens, because it's one of those where, they can get 100 subs or 200 subs, they can lose 100 subs in a day, and they're like, yeah, whatever, I've got 10,000 more. I'll just pick the ones that agree with whatever I say. I don't know, I haven't been following a lot of the live streams. I did the one time just because I saw that stuff that was going on with Alex, and holy Pika. I said it the last time. I said it over, for those of you that aren't aware, I've been doing YouTube streams lately, a lot of them. So that's basically where I've been for the most part, because the OBS thing will actually let me play games and stuff on there. But I'm sitting there going, what actual help did she give him? As far as I know, the dude still doesn't have a job. It didn't help him pay his rent. It didn't help him get anything taken care of with his job. All it did was give him attention over YouNow. And 1 day's worth of attention. Didn't even get him partnered, or anywhere close. Alex supposedly got fired because he was associated with Joy. Though they really didn't give any details about it, which is very strange, because if they think they've been wronged in any way, they never shut up about it for a week and a half. And basically what wound up happening is, when Joy realized that she wasn't getting a lot of attention, because I was watching the comments, and when she realized she wasn't getting a lot of attention for it, like people weren't praising her for it, then suddenly, you look at the look on her face, and it's suddenly gone blank. Oh yeah, I'm excited. I am so excited. Wow, is that a helicopter? I've never seen one of those before. Look at me, I'm so excited for helping my friend. Oh, did I mention that I'm sick? Did I mention that I'm sick for the umpteenth thousandth time that I beat you over the head with? Seriously, how the hell do people not notice this shit? You remind them every couple of minutes. It's like one of those telethons where it runs across the stream. Tell you what, do yourself a freaking favor. Rather than tell us you're sick, 24/7, just put one of those little scrolling things across the screen. Hey guys, here's a reminder I'm sick. Hey guys, here's a reminder I can't do anything even though I'm bouncing around like a maniac right now. Here's a reminder I'm really the victim and being picked on and defending myself, even though that's been used by pretty much any bully that's ever been on the internet ever. Just take that, shut the fuck up, put it on a little scrolling screen in front of us, and save us all the goddamn terror of listening to your voice whining about it over and over and over again like a goddamn broken record. Or, better yet, since you're probably not that technological savvy unless you can find someone to do that for you without pay too, just like intros and outros, just tape record it, because if we've heard this shit once, we've heard it a goddamn 1,000 times, and just play it on a loop in the background. That way, maybe you can actually get into the joy part instead of the bullshit part. I don't know. Just saying, some healthy constructive criticism there. Shit. I just don't know about people, but it's like, oh, by the way, I'm helping this guy because I'm so great. We know. You told us 20 times. And did you know that I'm sick? Yes, because you haven't shut up about it since goddamn January. We get it. You're sick, you're depressed. I'm depressed! Really? No! Whatever gave us that idea? I just can't even. I would say she's mentally Section 8, but she's still missing a couple of digits. When intelligence is your dump stat. And wisdom ain't much better. Actually, no. When intelligence and wisdom are both your dump stat, and they're currently in a competition to see which one can go into negatives the deepest. Yeah, there's treatment for that. It's called the customer service catapult. You sit them in the basket, you pull the goddamn lever, and you deal with the problem. Done! End of discussion. Everybody's happy. They don't have to listen about a voice that sounds like angels being tortured in hell. I did not used to know what that sounded like, and then I heard somebody singing, and I'm like, oh dear God. You're not supposed to torture animals like that. Yeah, I don't get that whole thing with the having diarrhea for 8 months. Dear God, it's called healthy life choices. If stuff ain't working out for you, fix it. Personal responsibility goes a long way. If you want to get better, you gotta do that. Like if I'm feeling like shit, and I haven't been active for a while, what do? I get my sorry ass up at the butt crack of dawn and I go out on a damn walk. No, Silver, the last time I heard her sing, I guarantee you can sing better than her. It sounded like an attempt at an exorcism mixed with like an execution. And that's still being very generous. Oh no, I heard it. I so true. You could be tone deaf and sing a lot better. You could be tone deaf, drunk, and fucking high, and you could do a better job than that. Just saying. Whew. Some people want to fall for anything. That's why I tell people, do not play drinking games with those streams. Don't do it. That shit might kill you with water. If not, you will be excessively hydrated, I'll give you that. But a stereotypical Irishman, drinking problems and all. Again, I'm saying stereotypical before people start pulling out the pitchforks. You'll die. You will die. Don't ever play a drinking game. And for those of her spurgs, of her disciples that would actually watch this and go, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. Alright. In place of every regular shot, it has to be a combination of Everclear and at least 75, 80 proof or up absinthe. Per shot. Per drink. Good luck, you're gonna need it. The only reason I don't insist on people doing that is because I don't want to be responsible for mortality rates that would, like, rival Vietnam. No, she used to be able to sing well. That is not singing well, that's just sad. And if she's going to give anybody voice lessons, they need to get their damn money back. She hasn't worked on her voice in a while, and you can tell. That was just, dear Lord in heaven. If you're ever wondering why God doesn't answer your prayers, keep in mind he's probably had to drown out her singing. That kind of stuff is why I would never want to be a deity. Because that means I would have to hear that across time and space. No escape. Suddenly Armageddon is making a lot more sense. The jokes that the jokes write themselves. I tell you what. Good way to cure people of alcoholism. Here you go. No, you can have all the shots you want. You just have to play this drinking game with these live streams. 24 hours later, I'm good. I'm never touching another drop again. And while I'm at it, I'm never touching social media. I'm never touching any kind of, like, internet. I'm just going to go off and become Amish for real. Oh no, you know what? I'm actually some of these spurgs. Some of these spurgs, I'm actually tempted to just actually encourage it and be like, just be done with it. Like the Dark Souls dude, like the people that harass people across everybody's freaking comments pages and shit. Just to do the society a freaking favor. Since Battle Royale is not legal yet. The jokes write themselves with this one, I tell you what. But no, you at the end for them is gonna be somebody's gonna send them like an anonymous letter or something that they can have like a piece of her hair if they like go into this killing fest, and like nobody's gonna walk away from it. What have I been up to? Largely a lot of exercise. I've been up to a lot of exercise. I've been doing like well, you've been in there for one or two of them. I've been doing a couple of different live streams where I've just been like playing different games. Like there was Empyrean that I played like twice. Then there was 7 Days to Die briefly. And there was also, what was the other one? Project Zomboid, which I actually did a vehicles update for. Problem is, a lot of these really don't have a lot to go off of. So as far as keeping people engaged, they're like, he's mining again. And he's doing some more mining, and that's another 10 minutes. Plus, I'm doing it late at night, so it's not really getting a whole lot. It's just one of those things that happens. Bruh, it's Backstreet is Bay. Well, okay then. Hello. Hope you're having a good day. But I will do like Let's Plays and stuff. Actually, the last time you were there for, I did the thing where I was doing Super NES. I was playing Super NES games, and I still didn't. I never expected that Final Fantasy Mystic Quest was going to be that much of a walking euphemism. Oh my God, the Bone Dungeon. And you can get this special elixir and possible Minotaur rape. And it's so bad that even the protagonist is doing... Even the hero of the story is doing this number. Like, his little character on the screen is doing this. Like, okay, what the hell? When this is how a game starts... Oh, boy. I can imagine somebody trying to play this game high. That's all I'm going to say there. I can just imagine somebody... If we're having a time with that, I just imagine someone trying to play even the beginning of the game high. Because it's like, oh, sure, okay. And just the stuff that doesn't make sense, like... Oh, hey, gigantic axe the size of me, and I'm this little itty-bitty girl. But Mommy's worried because I may go out into the forest where there are dangerous monsters. And then, after possible, she needs an elixir to get better. I just don't even know. Hello, Lemon Garden. How you doing? Been a little bit since I've seen you. I know you're usually on the live streams and such. Waka waka. Well, I'm sitting here like nibbling on lunch. Like I went and cooked myself up some wings. And as you can see, I went and seasoned them too. And then of course I got corn as well. So I can cook some food. And I've got some basil, some chives, and some Italian seasoning on said wings. They're nice and juicy. Not raw. Dear Lord, no. But they're nice and juicy. And yummy. Well, it's a little hard to do that from this kind of distance. I can't exactly, plug it to the computer and you pull it out of the screen and like, hey, I have food. I don't want to do the tech support for those kind of calls either. Yeah, I went and put through some food, and instead of going on the other screen, it's now some space alien that's trying to eat my friend's face off. Can you get me support for that? No, but you may want to pass along some firearms to your poor friend or start looking into a mortician. You might want to consider that. Might be a good idea. People don't understand. Tech support is, tech is all well and good until either A, it breaks down, or you're the poor soul doing the tech support for it. At which point, you really don't know who to feel sorry for. But, which tech support in itself is not a bad job. It really isn't. A lot of it can be easy, but some of the people you kind of wonder about. These last couple of days have been hell. People have been on there have been nasty. Like, I've had people legitimately try to pick fights with me. Like, I will say something, they'll ignore it, they'll go with their own thing, and I'll be like, no, that's not the case, ma'am. And then they'll try and insert some other thing and try to say that I said something, and I'm like, ma'am, these calls are recorded. I did not say that. And I'm not going to say that. Or, they'll come to a conclusion which is actually the right conclusion, and I'll agree with them, and then they'll try to act like I'm being unsure of myself, and I'm like, no, ma'am, I said that's actually a good idea. You should do that. Please go ahead and do that. They still won't do it, and then they'll try to pick a fight about that too. And that will be a 30-minute call. For no other reason, this person's legitimately just trying to pick a fight and be nasty. And I'm sitting there like, man, I'm trying to help you. I'm here to help you. How can I help you? 3 days straight of that. Holy screaming eagle and a pogo stick. And then more tech support issues. Or tech issues. It's bad enough. Well, actually, it's not really bad enough to be tech support, but when you have to deal with tech support on the same time, then it's like, I just want something that works. And then I had both that and the landlord stuff at the same time. Every day has been like something new on the loop-de-loop radar. I kind of wonder, do these people like have a convention and they just pass around the same script? Okay, here's what we're doing this week. You're over here in the red corner, you're over here in the blue corner, you're here in Sector 5 because you're too pitiful to be considered a real token Tier 1 one of us. And you're just gonna be like the second-rate slumlord over here, giving people random shit for crackers. Congratulations, you're moving up in the world. Try not to get shot or eaten by a weevil or fed to your own animals when you're negligent to them for X amount of time. I must be on a list, man. It's like achievement unlocked, you're on the list. Except instead of being like on like a list for one of those like exclusive A-grade clubs where they've got like the bouncers, you're on the list for something else. And you're like, now, where do I get off this list? No, it's not the bad list. It's the bad touch list. because it gives you the bad touch on the mental and emotional spectrum, possibly on the physical spectrum, depending how close you are to the person. Thankfully, I can say I'm not dealing with that one. Hallelujah. And holy screaming eagle on a pogo stick, it is just so quiet. It is just so quiet for a, I did, like, almost right after I got off of work, I just crashed. Not bad, considering that I've been having a lot of problems sleeping lately, so, when I went and crashed, yeah, no, I woke up about 8 or 9. Like, the other day, I went and crashed and woke up 8 or 9, and went out and took myself a nice walk. Came back. That's when I started getting the ideas for, like, Munchie Lovania and all that other stuff. Well, it's a mix of that and being fired up because of all the shit with the landlord. So that's adrenaline. It just really pisses me off when somebody tries to kick me when I'm down, knowing what the situation is. Oh yeah, adrenaline. But getting some better sleep is always good. I have seen some screens for the new It also. I will admit, from what I can see, dude did a pretty damn good job. What did I do with that? Okay. Dude did a pretty good job with that killer clown. Definitely took the Eldritch Abomination thing up a notch. The reviews for it were terrible? That can't be right. No, they did. They did. From what I've seen of it, they stuck to the story for the most part. They didn't stick to the movie adaptation of it very much. But the actual story was decent. And just looking at it on its merits, I mean, you have to figure what they're doing. It's a two-parter. Okay? Maybe 3. But it's a two-parter. This particular section covered only the aspect with the kids. Which, even that, in the actual miniseries, they really didn't go into a lot of detail on. Now, we'll see what happens with the adults, because they seem to focus on that a little bit more. But, well, for what they did, they actually did a good job. Because it was a creature of shock value. That was part of how it feeds. there's the carnivorous aspect, and then there's also it feeds off of fear. Like, if you actually read the book, it feeds off of fear. And it takes its form depending on the fears of others. Since everybody is largely unsettled by clowns, or lots of folks are unsettled by clowns, that's what it's stuck with over time. That, and it was a good way to get close to its human prey. It's learned over time. So, I think ultimately, from what I saw of it, it was actually pretty good. I expected it to be hokey, but it was actually pretty good from what I've seen of it. So, the floating balloons, the little subtle nods and gestures and little freak-out things, yeah, I think that could have been done a little bit heavy, but as far as actually conveying what it is and how it operates, I'd say they did a good job. See, I'm going to disagree with that one simply because I actually liked Pennywise. I didn't think I would. I thought that was going to be crazy. I think the kids did all right. I think actually Pennywise did he's not Tim Curry. Tim Curry is like a legend in his own right. You really can't top Tim Curry. But as far as doing a good job, as far as creating a menacing Pennywise, one that had the creep value, that you never knew what he was going to do next, yeah, I'd say that he did a good job with that. Now, as far as the lines, the taglines, getting that mixture of clown and creepazoid in there, Tim Curry definitely was the better Pennywise in that regard, because he definitely had the lines. He had the charisma, and he had the workability, like he could work his tones and phrasing and everything just right to pull that off in such a way. Well, yeah, but think of it this way, Silver. If they're going to get mad at that, they're going to have to get mad at the social justice warriors that created that environment. Because they still have to answer to Warner Brothers, unfortunately. I blame the studio on that one, because pandering. That's really what it came down to. It was pandering. If we release this, they're going to go crazy because we did something and now we're triggered. So, in that aspect, I give the movie a pass, simply because they can't help that. They can't help that. At the end of the day, they still have to answer to their studio, and there was talk for more than a few times that these guys were just going to, like, possibly butcher this aspect or that aspect of their script, which is always an issue whenever it comes to any kind of studio, whenever it comes to any kind of production company. Whatever you put out could be solid gold, but then you have to get past what they think is solid gold and what they think will make them money. And if it isn't what they envision, then even if you put out pure platinum on a plate, they will vivisect it so badly that it will be absolute garbage by the time it's done with it. So, I mean, taking that into account, there's only so much that I can be judgmental for. Now, if it was one of those where they took Pennywise and they pulled a Freddy Krueger, like they fucked him up like they fucked up Freddy, oh yeah, I'd absolutely agree. But in terms of making the best with what they had, in terms of, okay, we went for a more menacing Pennywise, we're going on the horror aspect, on the unknowable aspect, dragging the point home that, dear Lord, we don't really know what we're dealing with, I have to say they did a really good job. Because he's opening his mouth and then tentacles are freaking coming out and grabbing this kid's head? Holy shit. I'm sorry, there were some things that even Tim Curry couldn't have pulled off so well. So, in that aspect, I think did a really good job. I think the only way they could have actually done a better job of it is if they made this one a sequel to the last one, because it was exactly 27 years from the time of the last Pennywise. So it was another feeding cycle for it. It would have actually followed a timeline. So, I don't know. It would have made things a little bit more difficult. Like, you couldn't exactly have played the Losers Club, because at the time the Losers Club was defeating it in this movie was right around the time that the grown-up Loser Club had actually killed it. And it is a lot of things, but couldn't be in more than one place in more than one time. So they would have had to drastically rewrite the script for that. It would have been interesting to see it return, though. Because I forget what the term was, I forget what the line was. It was something to the effect of, if this son of a bitch comes back in 27 years, I'm done. You know, sort of thing. So what would have happened if he actually did come back? Would they have been like, I'm done? Would they have tried to back up the next generation of the Losers Club and just hand the torch off, and it becomes, like, the Losers Club becomes a thing, like a generational thing, with each generation handing it off to the next to become like protectors of Derry? Almost kind of like the gunslingers in the Dark Tower, which is associated with it? Because that would have been amazing. I would have been like, shut up and take my money over that. That would have been great. And it would have fit with the horror theme, because horror would have not have been something that was, you know, they didn't really defeat the horror, they just staved it off for a time. There were still casualties, fucked up shit still happened, and now there is still the cycle of horror. They've just been able to hold it back and be the wall that keeps the monsters at bay. But the monsters are still there. They're just as unknowable as ever. They're just as memorable as ever, changing up their tricks and habits for a new generation and a new generation and a new generation. And it's even more pissed off because successive groups have now beat it, so it's learning. That would have been excellent. But, I don't know. We'll see. That I would have loved to see. It's a little harder to pull off, but, again, it would have made for a really interesting movie. It would have definitely made for an interesting movie. Even if you could fit in... The only thing that would have been a little weird for that was, because at least one of the characters from the original It was in another Stephen King movie. The black kid from the original Stephen King's It, his character was in another Stephen King movie. Jack Nicholson was in it also. Here's Johnny. The Red Rum. That's right. What was it? The Shining. Yep. And The Shining is also referenced in The Dark Tower, among other things. And I think it was, what was it? There was another, and Derry's popped up a couple of times. It's been a backdrop a couple of times. So it is just one facet of many things that have happened in Derry and have tied in with the Stephen King universe. But unfortunately, for those of you that are aware of The Shining, that poor dude does not make it to the end of the movie because the character that Jack Nicholson plays has a paranoid, crazy psycho fit and kills him. So that means they are one person down. The next generation, the old guard, would be one more person down to try and explain this to the new guard. So that would make things a lot more complicated. But that would definitely be something to tie in. Oh, Shining was awesome. They just don't make horror movies like that anymore. But it was great. It was absolutely great. It's great! No, as far as Death Note goes, I've seen bits and pieces of the other one, and it looks like it wasn't a complete follow-through either. They just did it in like a segment. Which, okay. I've heard it compared. I've heard it to be compared to be worse than Dragon Ball Z. The live-action Dragon Ball Z. And unlike it, where I could actually pull up different pieces of it and say, there's enough to actually salvage here, and I can give it a pass for this reason or that reason or that reason. Unlike that, I look at what I'm seeing from Death Note, and I'm like, this is just terrible. The only thing that I liked out of what I saw was Ryuk. That he looked interesting. I liked the way that they pulled off his look. But that was it. That was absolutely it. I can't even call that a B movie. So I'm going to go so far as to call it a D movie, because I can't call it a C movie. It's a tier below C. If you would think the B movies that are like cult flicks because they're just so bad that everybody watches them on that principle. Then you have the C tier movies, which I'm going to put as the Freddy Krueger remake and live action Dragon Ball. And then I'm going to put the D tier, which is going to be like Death Note. There you go. Because most of the movies that we get these days are more or less between low quality A and middle to high quality B. That's the majority of the movies that get shoved out in front of our faces these days. Every once in a while, we'll get an A+. But those are few and far between. It is like water in the desert, man. And then, even if we do get that rare A+ title, then you have to talk about sequel death, because everybody and their brother, sister, aunt, and uncles is going to try and copy that shit. Because we want that A+ too. Well, you can copy everything, it doesn't mean you're going to get quality out of it. It does not mean copies does not quality make. It just does not happen that way. You have to put effort into it. You got to make something meaningful, and they have to have a reason to care. They have to have a reason to like it. There has to be something that connects them. Whereas, again, I'll go back to it. Quite frankly, it wasn't the kids that made it memorable. It wasn't even the town that made it memorable, or the little creepy music here and there that made it memorable. What ultimately made it memorable was Pennywise. And if it had been a different actor at that time, it wouldn't have worked. For that setting, for everything that was put out, Tim was the only one that could have actually really pulled it off well. I could not have seen, like, Tom Cruise as it. I could not have seen Sean Connery as it. Or, Harrison Ford. Or even Raul Julia. And holy shit, Raul Julia can act, or could act. And then fast forward. This new incarnation. Whatever they want to say about it, they did have a very immersive vibe. Yes, they went heavier on the shock value and the CGI, because of course they do. They do that shit to death these days. But as far as a menacing appearance, the clown pulled it off. The clown pulled it off, and he did something for that setting. It's not as awesome as Tim's, but it's awesome in its own right. It's something that you can put up next to it and say, okay, Tim was amazing. This is good. I like this. Okay. And then from there, we'll see what they do with number 2 and whether or not it gives them a little bit more creative leniency to move forward. And then things work better in that regard. Or whether they completely fuck it up. Which, quite frankly, is a high possibility these days. Especially since, 27 years later, 2007 or 2017. And there's just so much going on that if they try and get that, they're gonna have to worry about stepping on a lot of toes. So I'm actually kind of nervous for the second one. It's not the first one I'm nervous for, it's the second one. Because if they were nervous about stepping toes on the first one, the second one they're going to be like going crazy trying to like politically correct it up, which is just going to fucking be the nail in its own coffin. And it doesn't matter how good or not the actors are, and it doesn't matter how cool freaking Pennywise may or may not be. I mean, he could be like, he could be like, they could make the best Pennywise ever, and in this case, if the story sucks that badly, that sequel's gonna bomb. Um, could have been good if they actually Death Note could have been good if they had just not made the live action movie. It's that simple. There was no salvaging that turd. There was no polishing that turd. If they had fired everyone, started over from the beginning, and wrote a script that actually was worth a damn, other than salvaging somebody's used toilet paper. That's the only way they could have made either Death Note good or Dragon Ball Z, the live action movie, good. That's the only way they could have done that. Hopefully, if nothing else, that stops them from making a Bleach live action movie, because dear God. Just no. Maybe they can get Fruit Lupus to audition for the second part of Death Note, so that it inevitably completely kills their career, and they can actually ensure that people will show up to see it. Because I'm thinking that's the only way they're going to get people to see it. Yes, I went there. Yes, I went there. What time is it? It's only a... See, I figured that if I popped on early, that I would at least get a hold of some more of my UK fans. Because for them right now, it's like, what, 6 o'clock? I want to say. 5, 6 o'clock? But it's been dead in here. And I'm still number 1 on YouNow and Chill. I have noticed that. Like, there's some people even in the Discord and stuff that will be on, like, later at night. I don't know what's going on. It's like some weird flip, because, like, normally, I'm used to you being on, like, late at night. I know Jason, as I've seen the notifications from him, that he's been on later. And it's like some weird sort of flip, because, oh, Jason's the man. Jason's awesome. It's just whenever he pops on, I'm still on the clock, so I can't exactly go, hey! Like, I could probably pop up in chat, but I couldn't guess, and I couldn't even listen to whatever he was saying, so it kind of negates the point, unfortunately. But he's a cool dude. He's a really cool dude. I miss his rapier wit. Because he is a funny one. And not just that, you can mess with him, and he will mess with you right back. And that is awesome. Oh, he is sassy, man! He is freaking sassy as fuck. But it's good. It's awesome. I've said it before. You can usually tell the measure of somebody, especially when you first meet them, by messing with them. You know? If you mess with them and they get offended, that's somebody you probably want to watch and steer clear of. If they're like, okay, whatever, just kind of watch them a little bit. If they laugh about it, well, then you've made a friend. If they heckle you right back, it's brother or sister. Brother, sister, my family. That's when you know. That's when you know. Never fails. And Jason, in that regard, is very much like family. Because he will mess with you right back, and you can almost see the look on his face, and the gears turning. Is like, oh no, okay, he thinks he's so slick, wait till he sees this little quip. He gets sassy, and it's funny. Because you can almost hear the gears turning, and it's great. It's not every day I get people to mess back with me like that. They'll be like, lol, or they'll just kind of chuckle about it, but don't get a lot of hecklers. Don't get a lot of hecklers. Well, not the fun ones, anyway. And even the trolls, man, they're boring. It's just the same scripted stuff, and I'm like, guys, please, incorporate a better script, or learn from a comedian, or something. Get a little bit of humor going. They are boring! It's like a major letdown. You know, trolls are supposed to make you run to the wambulance for the most part, but it's supposed to be in a way that's hilarious. This isn't hilarious, it's just really, really bland. Hello, Kelsey Le? Or Lee? I'm not exactly sure how that's pronounced, so I'll just go with Kelsey, I guess. Hello, good day, hope you're having a good Sunday. And that it only gets better even if you are having a good one. But trolls, man. Trolls are boring. I'm gonna go back to Mr. Dark Souls there. Because I'm sitting there like, did he really say that? Oh, Lee, okay. Because some people go Lay, some people go Lee. It's kind of hard to figure sometimes. But it's all good. Kelsey Lee. Cool. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope your day only gets better. And, of course, feel welcome to sit, chat, participate, and all that. Don't worry, I am not chasing you out of chat. At all. I like people that come in and congregate. And if you heckle me, I can deal with that too. Heck, I heckle me. It's not hard. It's actually easy enough that I'm starting to wonder about myself every once in a while. I mean, heck, you're talking to a guy that's wearing a shirt that says "Shut up and keep calm," so it's all good. I have debated making a t-shirt with me, like, running around with, like, Freddy Krueger claws, just to mess with them right back. I took your advice and worked on my fingernails, and now they're asking me for horror shows. I will give them the Freddy they deserve. I kind of wonder if it's because they want to paint them. I really wonder, but I'm like, sorry, nope, it's not happening. And hello, Entahausen. Hausen? It really is. I get these comments, and I'm just sitting there reading them, and I'm like, see, I just don't paint my nails. I'm just not a beta male or a beta fish, which is probably good because that would really suck trying to groom myself, looking in the mirror and trying to attack the mirror. I imagine that would not work out very well. Do it for comedy. I've already got comedic value. I put my face on here. That's enough to get people laughing. Come on now. See? There you go. Easy to heckle myself. It's really easy to heckle myself. A little too easy sometimes. Not as easy as some of the people that I've dated, but, you know, hey, it's all good. Da-da. No, I'm not gonna paint my nails. Mainly because I haven't figured out a way to put enough print on these things to have it go across and say, y'all focus on this way too much to be healthy. My poor axis. Shit. What crack pipe are you smoking, woman? My poor axis? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. They passed you the good stuff today. My poor exes. All my exes don't live in Texas. Man, they gave you the good stuff. Nasty, cheating, expecting me to do everything for them and hold their hand, severe issues. Crazy excuses to justify really crazy behavior. But poor exes. Oh, no. See, were implies past tense. They're still nuts. Hello, Stefan81. Hey, I wonder if that's the same... Is that Stefan Hand? I haven't seen you in a while. I wonder if that's Stefan Hand. If it is, good to see you. And thank you so much for putting up with my emo days. Sorry about that, by the way. But, yeah, no. Were implies past tense. I'm pretty sure they're still nuts. But that's not my problem. Because exes means past tense. They're somebody else's problem. They are somebody else's problem that is not mine. Does not stop me from having weird dreams about them to kind of throw me in a loop, but... Silver, I am trying, man! Stop dating fruitcakes. I wish it was that easy. I tell you what, I will just get on that. I mean, geez, I never knew. I never knew that all I had to do is stop dating fruitcakes. I mean, all I had to do is go, you know what? I don't want to date crazy people anymore. Because they're crazy and it's really, really fucked up. I mean, if I knew it was just that easy, I could have just settled for dating sites without fear, walked openly without having to wonder if I'll get cussed out for opening a door. Because all I have to do is sit down and go, you know, gosh darn it, I'm going to stop dating fruitcakes. And while I'm at it, I'm also not going to date the actual fruitcakes because I don't think anybody really likes those things anyway, whether it's the packaging, the look, the smell, or the taste. I never was one to date food products, so I'm probably not going to do that either. Probably not a good idea. You're going to vet my people? I don't think you have enough sanity or patience left over for that one. I would give it by the second or third person. You'd be like, Phil, look, I'm saying this as a friend. Just take yourself out of the dating pool. Save yourself the trouble, and save us the therapy bills. The ones you're going to be racking up for yourselves, and the ones we're going to be racking up trying to sort out these crazies. I mean, I'm just saying. At the rate that this is going on, you're going to be like, nope, sorry. You just get yourself, you know, get another, be a crazy cat person. Get another cat. At which point Rudolph will be like, excuse you? Get yourself a cave, hide out in there, say fuck the world and be done with it. It's just easier. I have one cat, so that really doesn't qualify. And I am not in the best place for finding somebody. Clarksville is not a good place for trying to find a date. The majority, you have a whole lot of feminists, a whole lot of social justice warriors, a whole lot of people that are just chasing for military people, and then out of that, you have a lot of single moms, which really, it's not being a single parent. My hat's off to them, because it is not an easy thing to do. The problem is we have the ones that give them a bad name. Because they use it as an excuse to flake. They use it as an excuse to treat people poorly. And then say, oh, well, I have to think about them, so I can jerk you around on a chain, and it's all well and good because I have to think about their needs. Well, that would make sense in certain regards. It really does. Because of course you have to think about their needs, but that does not give you an excuse to jerk some around on a chain. It does not give you an excuse to treat people poorly, to flake out on them, to treat them with disrespect. It should basically be proportional in a way that, not disrespect-wise, but basically you should treat people how you want to be treated. So if you want people to be on time, then show up on time. If you want to think about their needs, then do so by setting a good example and being responsible. Not just for their feelings, for the other person's feelings, and just be straight about your intentions, be straight about who you are and what you are. That doesn't mean they're obligated to do whatever. It does not mean that they are obligated to pay for a meal, or be at your beck and call, or answer every text message like that. No, because those people, if I run into one of those guys that says that, I'm going to call them out for the asshole that they are and be like, look, you need to stop being a little bitch. I'm not talking about the girl there, I'm talking about the guy. When guys act up, they should be held accountable for it. Absolutely. But that does not mean ladies are infallible. And that means that, if a lady is starting shit, then they need to toe the line. They need to suck it up, and they need to be responsible. So yeah, the dating scene is nuts. It is absolutely freaking nuts. Hey Mecca, how you doing, buddy? But, yeah, no. So, again, if the guy is screwing up, then by all means they are accountable. If the gal's screwing up, then they are accountable too. And it's none of this, oh, well, I'm just trying to find myself. Yeah, well, you wouldn't like it if a guy said that, so it don't fly for you either, honey. Just be real about it. If you want one thing, then you want one thing. That is all there is to it. That's fine. You do you, boo. But be upfront about it from the beginning. Don't play games and then a couple months down the road be going, oh, wait, no, it's really like this. No. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. I'm 3 years to freaking 40. I ain't got time to chase people around for that shit. Oh, and give us attention, but if you give us too much attention, you're a creep. Or if you give us any attention, you're a creep. Make up your mind, folks. You either want somebody to hold the door open for you, or you want to cuss them out when they hold the door open for you. But if they don't hold the door open for you after that, well, what did you think was going to happen? I mean, you ain't going to get wine and roses when what you give is bullshit dressed up like caviar. You can try and convince them that it's all in the presentation, but it's going to be pretty easy to reason really quickly. That's just my 2 cents on that, because I've seen enough on both sides of that. I've seen where the guys were the asshole, and I've seen where the gals were the asshole. I've seen where they were both the asshole, and dear God, if people are ever doing shit like that, that's when they both need to stop and go their own separate ways. They just need to stop, they need to walk away for the good of any potential offspring that come about at it, because if you have both parties being like an incredible asshole, those kids are gonna have a lot to deal with turning out. And even if they don't have kids, everybody else is gonna have to deal with that shit. Save the drama for your llama. Not your mama. They already had enough birthing you. So, that's my take on it, because the dating scene here is just... It's saltier than the JSBS Kool-Aid. It's one of those, you have to, at some point, it's like, yeah, it is saying something. It's saying here, okay, so the dating scene basically here in Clarksville is like trying to decide between putting yourself up and dating someone and hemorrhoids. And you have to kind of make that decision on which one will probably be less of a clusterfuck. Okay? If you can figure out for a moment what that's like, you might understand why I am just not bothering with the dating scene at the moment. That is why. It is a clusterfuck. It is a clusterfuck, and I'm sitting there going, look, I got enough shit going on. I got a landlord stealing our goddamn food. I've got a house that thankfully is still together, and I'm trying to get all this other stuff sorted. I don't need to deal with any more social justice bullshit. I don't need people starting shit or a whole lot of unnecessary drama. Oh, the one that I had actually set something up with. Yeah, I actually did meet them. It was all of one date, and they flaked. And they showed up late, and then they flaked after the fact. Oh, hey, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do that. Call me, we'll set something up. Okay, sure. No response back. All right. Fair enough. Oh, no. That's a different one. No. We never met. Not in person. We talked over the phone, but we never met. They sent me a very troubling message about something. I tried to, I messaged them back because I was a little concerned, and it's been about a day or so, and I have yet to hear anything back from them. So, I don't know what's going on there. I hope they're doing alright. It's not the kind of thing that I would actually mention on screen because it's something that's just a little, again, it's concerning, but it's also personal. So, I hope they're doing okay. But, yeah, no. Oh, no. She's cool. She's just got some stuff going on, apparently, and I don't know what's going on from there. So, no, I thought you meant the one that I was, talking to, and I want to say mid-June. Yeah, that was all of like one date there. People. That's one of the reasons I just gotta get out of this place. I do want to get out of Clarksville. So what I've been debating on doing, what I actually want to do, is within the next month or 2 months to a year's time, either I'm planning on moving out of city or out of state. And I don't know where yet. I do not know where yet. I really do like there are plenty of aspects that I do like about Tennessee. I've also debated on going to like places like St. James and stuff, since I used to be there all the time. And, it's still a small town. Well, actually, no. St. James is a little bit different because, you can actually take an Uber, 8 minutes away to, like, Rolla or something like that. So it's not like you're completely out and about and out of the loop. So I could actually go between 2 different freaking towns if I wanted to, on an off day. I can explore around as much as I want. I've thought about actually going back to Boonville. It's a quiet town. But then again, when I think about Boonville, I really didn't know much about it. It was almost like a ghost town in itself when I was there, and that's when the Kemper Military School was still there. The Kemper Military School is no longer there, and that was the mainstay of the town. Yes, they did have an awesome A&W fast food place, which I think is actually still open, which was right down the street because I used to go literally every weekend. But you really can't base living on a town on that. Oh, that was also the one that had a pretty neat little porch. It was like the top wasn't really finished for the most part, but they had one of these the shed. Actually, this guy had a battle axe that they had made out of a manhole cover that was in there. So, I remember that. And they had that driveway that used to go around into the very back, and like on the, I forget who lived over on the one side, but on the other side, there was Jimmy and Dale. They were a gay couple, and the one used to garden all the time, and he used to bring over fresh veggies for him, which was really awesome. I just didn't like how they were treated, because as much as they never tried to be anything but nice to our parents, and our parents were just real assholes. They wouldn't even accept like a wreath from him from the freaking door. Like, poor guy's standing out there freezing. He's just trying to be nice, and he can hear my mom being like a real asshole over the outside, like her voice carries. So he can hear her at the door being an asshole towards him, and you could see the look on his face. And I just walked up to him, I took the wreath out of his hands, and I said, "Merry Christmas, and I am so sorry. You don't deserve that." So he was always nice to me and my brother and stuff, and they were never mean to anybody. They used to bring people like fresh veggies. They were always nice. They kept to themselves. So if somebody was a dick, I could understand not wanting to go and answer the door, but hell, these people were never anything but nice. Their garden was absolutely beautiful, and hell, fresh veggies for free? Shit. You usually cannot pay for that kind of just generosity. It's something that you don't see anymore. But no, the poor guy's gonna freeze outside because you want to be a dick because, oh my god. Look, there are plenty of things I may disagree with. I may either not understand them or just outright disagree with them, but let me tell you what, if that person's been nice to me, I'm not going to let them freeze outside my doorstep. Okay, it doesn't matter what I understand or don't understand. The guy could think he's a freaking fruit roll-up reincarnated as a person, and I won't agree with it worth a damn. But if he's nice enough to bring me a wreath for season's freaking greetings, I'm going to invite him inside. I'm going to be like, here, have a hot cup of cocoa. You know? Sit down for a second. You know, put your feet up, relax, thank you for stopping by, season's greetings, would you like something to eat? You know, be courteous, be a good guest, you know, be something like that. It honestly does not matter what you think of that person. If they're being nice, then be nice back. The only thing that I will definitely say would be the only thing that, now, there are certain people that I will not answer the door to, and you can pretty well guess why. But, for the most part, again, what I'm saying kind of stands. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for the hearts. Hope you're having a great day today. And regardless of whether you are or not, hope it only gets better. But just stuff like that, you know, common coin and courtesy, because I've seen a lot of fucked up shit growing up. I have seen some of the nastier sides of human beings, what human beings are capable of. I've seen pretty much just about every side of human cruelty that there is that a person can show. I say just about because there are a couple that I haven't. And every time I hear of someone that has, I thank my lucky stars that I never had to go through that. But there's been enough really messed up stuff in this world, and so whenever you see the good stuff, I mean, why not appreciate it? Again, someone knocks on my door, it's freezing outside. Yeah, okay, sure, come on in. You know? If it's hot outside and somebody is about dying from heat, I'm gonna rush out and hand them a damn water bottle. Here you go, man. Because how many times have I been walking out there about ready to pass out from freaking heat stroke when I was on my way to where I used to work, and I got lucky and didn't because it's some random stranger with a water bottle. Here you go, man. You look like you're having a bad day. Here you go, man. You look worse for wear. Here. George the Cake Guy, I went and saw and was a regular patron of his bakery just because of how he treated people. And again, that also. I was about ready to pass out from the heat. He rushed out with a water bottle. Here you go, young man. You look like you could use some help. And I'm like, okay, how much you want? He's like, young man, if I need to worry about a single water bottle, then I don't need to be in business. How often do you run into somebody like that? And that's the difference between somebody that really helps people and somebody that's just white knighting and virtue signaling. People that do good deeds, you almost never really actually hear about it. It's nice when you do, but you really don't. The white knights, the virtue signalers, are the ones that spend like 12 years telling the entire world about this great thing that they did for somebody else. Oh, hey, look at me! I saved this puppy! I'm such an awesome person. That's a virtue signaler. That's a bullshitter. That's a big-time bullshitter. Okay? Look at me, I saved this puppy. 12 years about that. Okay, whatever. Whereas the person that normally saved, just a regular person on the street, yeah, okay, I did, so what? The puppy's happy, I'm happy. You know? Yes, you'll hear me talk about my rescue kitty because I love him to death. And yeah, okay, people are asking this, but other than that, I don't really talk about it very much. Yes, I have done good things for people, but there is no need to brag about it. Exactly. We call that virtue signaling these days, especially when it's over the net to try and get popularity and pass yourself off as a credible person or a virtuous person. Yeah, no thank you. And hello, Lexi, and welcome back, Mecha Draco. Yeah, big difference between actually helping people and virtue signaling. Again, you have to ask, what help did they really get? In my case, yes, I helped the kitty. I took him in, and he gives me love and affection. I gave him love and affection. He's fed, he's taken care of, he's happy. This other random person that you promoted on a platform still has to worry about food and clothing and utilities. They still don't have a job. They still, all that other stuff. Cute cat? Oh, yes. Absolutely cute cat. I'll try and pull up a picture here for you in a sec. Rudolph is adorable. He is an easy cat to love. Actually, hold on. I'll do one better. Since people have been asking for him anyway. Oh, Rudolph. There you are, baby. Come here, baby. I'm going to show you my baby. This is his favorite thing to do lately. You want to say hello to the people? And see, they're saying how adorable you are. Yes. Oh, there's that little smile. You are just so adorable. Oh, he is adorable. He used to be such a tiny little thing, and now he's such a big boy. And he's curious. Yes, he actually does read the chat comments. He does seem to know what everybody's saying. Yes. You don't have anybody fooled. You are the easiest kitty in the world to love. Yes, you are. He is the easiest cat in the world to love. Like, everybody meets him and falls in love with him. And he walks up and starts loving all over them. Oh, now he's curious, so he's gonna... You can't have my food. I know that's what you're looking at. He's like, wait, I smell something. I smell your food. I know what that is. I know how tasty that is. No, come on now. Good boy. He used to be such a tiny thing. And he's gotten all big and strong. Like, this is solid muscle here. This kitty is solid muscle. I'm gonna run around. I'm going to check the place out and make sure there are no other cats hiding in here. Isaiah, you're my kitty and you know it. You are my kitty and you know it. And when I leave, you are coming with me. You're not getting rid of me that easy. I've had him for he's a little over a year now. It was a year in May. So... Ziggy. Ziggy is actually pretty good. I'm not going to bring Ziggy in here right now because I guarantee you if I do, he's going to be in my plate of wings. He is going to be in my plate of wings and he's going to be like going absolutely crazy. Nose keeps itching. So yeah, I absolutely fuss about Rudolph. If I think anything's going on with him. I've got my geckos too, although they're Still kind of sleepy right now. Oh yeah. Actually, that shows you kind of how well behaved that actually Rudolph is in comparison. Rudolph is actually very well behaved, because it used to be he'd have his face right up in there, and I'm like, nope. But no, he's just checking everything else around now. But he's actually he looked at it, sniffed at it, I said nope, and he's like okay, and he got the message. Rudolph's a good cat. Like I said, he's a cat that's easy for anybody to fall in love with. I could not understand anybody hating that cat. It's inconceivable to me. Because he will come up and shower you with love and affection, and on your best days, let alone your worst days. And on your worst days, he's right up there, front and center. So, actually, lately, it seems like him and the husky both have been, like, guarding our door. Because there's the door to my room, and then there's door to one of my roomies across the way. And they've been, like, he's been perched on the shelf and on the top, and then Rocky the husky has been perched on the bottom. It's like they've been it's like they've been on guard duty. And they watch over everybody, because they know everybody has been in a lot of stress because of crazy landlord problems. So, that's been a thing. Hi! You're like, what is going on? There's some things that have changed. Yes, I know. I put stuff in your box, I am sorry. Actually, no, yeah, I put stuff in the box. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. It's bad enough that my landlord had given away one of my cats prior, which was Blake. I'm still upset about that. I have told him more than once, do not even think about giving away my cat or you will see hell. Thankfully, he's gotten that through his head. This cat's sticking with me. When I move, he's coming with me. And hopefully I find a place that's big enough that he can roam around a little bit and have some fun. Enjoy himself and be, fat and happy. Hopefully he lives to a nice, ripe old age. Which, he's a healthy cat. I mean, like I said, that's all solid muscle. He keeps himself pretty active. He's moving around, he's inquisitive, and as you can tell, he is just as curious as ever. So he's still got his own little personality, so there really isn't anything that would give me a whole lot of worry these days. And I'm really glad about that. When he got sick during that period where the cats were dying off, I really had a scare. That really scared the crap out of me, but thankfully, that's not going down. Now, I was going to show a picture of Rudolph, but then I was like, why show him when he's probably sitting right out there? Get right, baby. Yes, I know. Yeah, very fortunately, he's fine. Are you trying to figure out how to get on top of there? Oh, I know what you're trying to do. He's either trying to figure out how to get in the box, or he's trying to figure out how to get on top of the... He's trying to figure out how to get on top of the gecko tank. Usually to where he can see everything. Which is funny, because if that little gecko shows up and looks around and says, oh, hey, the cat's up here, all of a sudden you're going to see the little paws like this, where the gecko's trying to come at him. And it's the funniest thing, because that gecko is like this long by about this wide. And you've seen how big Rudolph is. But that gecko just is like Honey Badger. He doesn't give a flying fuck. He sees that cat, all of a sudden he's like, he's like, come at me! Oh! That gecko's got balls that are bigger than this room. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Yes, you're my baby. You know you're my baby. Oh, claws. Ow! Claws. I love you too, sweetie. Yes, I do. You're trying to avoid the camera? Really? Good boy. I just want to show them how adorable you are. You're like, they already know. No, no, no. Not on the keyboard. Not on the keyboard, baby. And not on my food. I know. Good boy. Good boy. I'm proud of my kitty. You're showing up. I've been doing this since he was a kitten. What I'm doing right now. That's why he's resting his little head. Oh, he hears the roommate, so he's like, Or here's Josh, so he's like, what's going on? Yes, I know, you're curious. Oh! Nice little spring jump there, buddy. What are you even doing? You trying to see how you can hop up on there? Yeah, he like poised down like this, and then he launched off, but he does it with his claws in a way where sometimes he pokes me with them. And I'm like, oh! Heavens to Betsy, to mittens to kittens. Oh, he's climbing into the box now. That's what it is. This cat is so. This cat is just so fascinated with boxes. Let me see if I can show this without disconnecting. There you go. I'm not. See how he's like nuzzling on the box and stuff? He loves boxes. And yes, I've been moving stuff around. That's why the table is out there. No, he loves boxes. Like, if you want to make that cat happy, bring him a new box. He will be happy and purring and rolling around in it for like hours. You take that box away, you want to see a cat get pissed off? Man, that cat will have a grudge. That cat will seriously hold a grudge. Because he's done that with the past roommate. They like brought him this box and set it on the table, and he's like, I love you. So then what happens is he went and took and removed the box and broke it down right in front of him, and that cat's ears curled back like this and his eyes narrowed down, and he's like, you little bastard. And he was just rotten to him after that, man. He would just go over there and just like shove stuff off with his paws. It was just... It's funny. Now he's just kind of looking around the place, and he's just like, okay, what's going on here? Like, he sees the owl that I've sit on top of the bookshelf, and it's like his little tail's wagging back and forth, and he's kind of looking up like this. So he's just kind of like, is that a bird? And the funny thing is, when I would actually take him outside with me, and he's like strutting around like he's Mr. Tough Cat, then the wind blows and stuff jangles, and like he runs, and he's like was hiding behind me, or he'll like run up to something, and he'll be looking around, but then he'll run back. Like, I almost worried because they had some chickens from the neighbors that would run back and forth. And, like, he'll actually walk up to them trying to figure out what they are. And then he'll run away from them because he doesn't know what to make of them. He gets scared of birds. It's just the craziest thing. Like, he is just so cute and adorable and, like, puffs himself out, but then he can also be a fraidy cat. But he'll hunt mice. I think the one time we had a mouse in here, and he went and hunted the mouse. Oh, I just got a message from Amy. Oh, now he's found a way. Okay, he figured out a way to get up there. So now he's over on the... That does not sound like a good hay. That's the funny thing. He doesn't really try to escape. He actually doesn't. If I'm walking around, he's just basically curious as to what's out there and why I want to walk out. So if I'm walking around, sometimes he wants to follow me. A lot of times he really doesn't. I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. I know what you're trying to do. He really thinks it's alive. He thinks that because I have a little owl statue on there, he thinks it's a live bird. That's really what it is. He's trying to figure out, yep, he just managed to hop up on there. He's trying to figure out, you know, what's up there. Honestly, though, I don't know whether or not that's actually going to be stable enough to hold. That bookshelf is just barely holding itself together now. So I don't know how well it's going to hold itself. But he saw the owl up there, and I guess he thought it was a real owl. So he was watching it and looking at it like, is that a real bird? Is that what he's been hiding from me? Truthfully, the only reason that I keep him out of the room for the most part is because, again, I work from home. So when I work from home, you know, usually he's up in my lap and in front of me and stuff, and I need to actually, you know, take care of calls, have my keyboard and all that stuff. So when that's going on, I can't be typing on a keyboard and having the cats trying to sit on the keyboard. I just can't. That's really what it is. But as far as Rudolph's concerned, he's like, there must be another animal in here. Hello, Dinesh. Welcome to YouNow, and welcome to the stream. So as far as he's concerned, it's one of those, there must be another animal hidden in here. There must be something. There really isn't. See, are you satisfied now? I'm not hiding strange animals behind your back. You're still my kitty. You've always been my kitty. You'll always be my baby, no matter how big you get. Goober. Oh, yeah, no, if I'm interested in it, they'll lay on it, absolutely. But in his case, he was actually looking at it, like, he actually thought this was a real bird, just by the way he was looking at it. And it's not, it's actually just like a semi-ceramic mosaic owl just sitting up there. And, so of course he had to hop on it. Now... Well, thank you, Merch Dog, for inviting all the fans, and hope you're having a great day so far. So now he's just kind of sitting on there, and I guess he's trying to look and see if he can find any of the lizards and such. It's any little thing. I guess they're just so used to their environment that whenever they see something different, they're like, oh my god. It's like a world mind-blowing sort of thing, so then they have to go through and check everything in the room just to kind of make sure that everything is what they thought it was. And of course, in his case, that I'm not hiding any other animals here, that I'm secretly babying instead of him. Okay. Oh, there we go. Hey, Lotus. Welcome back. You missed me showing off Rudolph just a moment ago. What is it with my nose itching? Seriously. What was the superstition about noses itching? Let me see what it is, because my nose is always freaking itching. Even when it shouldn't be. Superstitions about an itchy nose vary geographically, but one common myth claims an itchy nose means you're about to get a visitor. Additionally, which side of the nose the itch occurs on dictates the gender of the uninvited guest. Okay. Because it's usually this one, so it's my left. So what is it that's supposed to mean? Hell, I don't know. Let's find out! If the left side of your nose itches, the visitor is going to be a man, while itching on the right side means the woman caller is likely. Sounds about right. The majority of the people that come here are guys for the most part. Or in this case, it could be something knocking on the door. More landlord drama, please, dear God, no. That stuff with the food stealing was just. It's for the birds, and I don't mean the owls. Let's see. Looking to see if there's any interesting things in the superstitions here. This is specific folklore is common in the southern region of the United States, but other common superstitions occur elsewhere. Common among Northern Americans is the notion that if you have an itchy nose, you are going to kiss a fool. Well, I have an itchy nose constantly, and I'm never kissing anybody. Another popular notion is you're going to lose your temper or find yourself in the middle of an argument. Well, considering how often I tend to play mediator, that one could actually be likely, which, dear God in heaven, please no more. Other itchy nose superstitions include that someone is talking about you, perhaps even spreading falsehoods, or that you're going to receive money soon. Since it's not the second one, I would not be surprised at the first. Actually, I would be very unsurprised by the first, considering someone that cannot freaking shut up about me. Dear Lord. I should set it to where they, get auto-charged a penny every time they talk shit about me behind my back, because at that point, old Fruit Lupus will make me a freaking millionaire. Because every bloody time. That wouldn't be surprising. Hey, your nose is itching. She's at it again. Oh, wait, no. This one was a guy. Never mind. Then again, I don't know. The jury has been slightly off about that one. I don't know. I've given up trying to figure out some of these things. Ow. Itchy nose, itchy nose. That was still interesting. Let's see. Other different superstitions. If you make a bedspread or a quilt, be sure to finish it or marriage will never come to you. Placing a bed north or south brings misfortune. I'm kind of curious now as to whether or not I'm actually north or south, or facing north or south, because my bed faces just like this way to this way. A long ways. I'm not sure if it's north or south, though. That's kind of scary. Not really. I'm not actually a superstitious person. Not by any means. I do laugh at them, though. I think it's funny to look into. But that's really about it. And I have a quiet audience today, other than Silver. You guys can talk, you know. I don't bite, I swear. I certainly don't bite people's heads off. That would require jaw surgery. That would be too... Yeah, just too extensive. Too severe. Also, where are the walrus pits? I have 4 viewers, but I have 2 people showing. Okay. That was weird. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm not... Because I remember this does stream to YouTube. Come on. don't see anybody in the actual conversation. But it is what it is. I don't know, I've been going on this for about 2 hours. I actually do need to finish my lunch. It doesn't look like anybody else for the most part's coming in, so I might as well just, I guess I'll just kind of close it up for the moment. Finish my lunch. Oh no, wait, it's weird, because whenever I say that I'm just gonna close it up because there's hardly anybody in there, then suddenly people show back up. Ah. Oh hey Blaze, long time no see. How you doing, man? And hello, welcome back, Lotus. I've just been enjoying lunch and kind of chilling out. Oh. Showing off my cat. Because, you know, it's the internet. And just kind of shooting the breeze, though I really don't have much of a topic in general going on at the moment. I am certainly open to them, though. I'm not sure if people are just kind of passing in or not. It's coming and going. You can kind of click some things out. Maybe that will help. There's that nose itching again. Telling you, they're Deadpooling me. They're Deadpooling me. That is not nice. It is not okay. I don't know. I'm wondering what game I should play next. Because the last time that I was playing games, I actually played up with Super Nintendo. Or might just go with regular Nintendo. Since I have almost the whole set for the actual regular Nintendo. Let me see. I think I have some old PlayStation games in there. Yeah. Hello. Is anybody home? Is anyone secretly a gnome? Is anyone secretly a lawn gnome? Ooh, I remember, I have Stradivarius. But if I play that, they're gonna freaking ding me on freaking YouTube. Good stuff. I forgot that I had some of these. But I guarantee if I play them, I'm going to get copyright dinged. Because apparently YouTube is being freaking crazy about that. Like I had just the clip of my stream where I was showing the in the arms of an angel from somebody else's stream. It was like, yeah, it was one of those that I still got dinged for that. But let's see. That's sort of various bios. Those are different patches, save states, memory cards. Does it not actually have? Or if it's under Neverland. Oh, this was like old. Oh, hello, Glitter Zinnia. I remember that name. It's been a while since I've seen it. I'm looking through old files. Let's see, that's N64 stuff. The old ROMs. Hello, John. Dear John, I knew you about as well as anyone. We were the wild ones, so sure our days would never end. Now they're only memories, my friend. Dear John, I'll see you someday again. Styx, by the way, for those of you that don't know. Good stuff. Good stuff. Not my best singing voice, so I apologize if that, made your ears bleed. Because even I can hear the little... No, that was not my voice getting a lobotomy. That was just me trying to sing. These things, they do happen. But Styx is generally pretty good, so I mean, you could pull it up and it was, you're probably, the thing that most people are familiar with the band would probably be Come Sail Away, between South Park and everything else. So, you'd be very, very familiar with Come Sail Away. And of course, Dear John is a very somber one. Too Much Time on My Hands. And of course, what is it? Renegade. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. Lawman has put an end to my running, and I'm so far from my home. Oh, mama, I can hear you a-crying, you're so scared and all alone. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long. The jig is up, the news is out, they finally found me. The renegade who had it made, sent in for a bounty. Long ago I went astray, it'll be the end today of the wanted man. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life, I've got a high price on my head. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I'm sure he'll see me dead. Yep, Renegade. Another goalie but goalie. I know you. I was actually singing. Nobody was around. The one time, everybody's always telling me to sing, and the one time that I was singing, nobody was around. I got away with it. I fought the non-law, and I won. Not really, because it'll still be on YouTube. Dear Lord, this bracelet's making my arms sweat a bit. Let's see what else I got. Final Fantasy edits, that was from ages ago. I'm surprised that it does not have... I'm very surprised that it does not have that. Maybe it's in a different file. That's docs. Patches. And I have people that are... Oh, Mr. Anderson is back. Feel free to offer up a topic, guys. I'm just doing random stuff, literally randomly. And of course, if you're new, my channel is up on Nishi Stay Tuned. I do live streams on there while I'll play video games and just other random associated nonsense, although sometimes it takes me a little longer to answer the chat on that, whereas opposed to here, where it's pretty much instantaneously. I see something, then I can react to it pretty quickly. I'm actually surprised it's not as big as it is. It's like almost 12. Advent Chill. What did I do with my... That actually makes me a little sad, because I had stuff like Tecmo's Deception, which I originally owned the game anyway, but... I had Sega Genesis, which I owned a bunch of those as well. Diablo 2 bots. From once upon a time, when Diablo 2 was all the rage. And didn't make you rage quit. Hello, soccer guy. How you doing today? If anybody has any crazy topics, feel free to suggest them. I do talk about a little bit of everything under the sun, from games to anime to movies to occasionally politics. So, again, little bit of everything under the sun. I've talked comics, I've talked about just about anything geeky or nerdy or non-nerdy. It's a thing. And right now, the only thing that I am doing is actually trying to figure out where the hell it went with the... Not neat. Not neat at all. That is not neat. That's actually a little bit... I was looking to see if I still had Tecmo's Deception on there. It was like an old school, because you have to keep in mind PlayStation 1, so the graphics are a little bit like blocky and choppy. And it was one of those, it was where you kind of play the bad guy. And your objective in the game is to resurrect the devil, and you are stuck in this mansion which the devil is sealed in. And what basically happens is you set all these different traps, and some of them were actually kind of clever. Like, you couldn't directly attack anybody. You could only indirectly attack them through traps. Which was kind of okay at the same time. It was one of those, you should have been able to at least swing a sword or something. Shit. And then you could do things where you could take their souls and, like, make monsters out of them and stuff. It was actually pretty neat. Yeah, I figured that was fake. I've seen that stuff pop up on Facebook long enough to... Yeah, 1,000 times over. Let's see. I don't know. What should I do next? There's, like, nobody in here. And I'm out of topics. For the moment. Well, maybe I'll just wait a little bit longer, see if anybody comes in and wants to chat. Update some of my Steam games and decide what I want to play next. There is Just Cause, which was kind of weird, in a weird blocky sense. Ironcast. But they did DLC that I didn't quite agree with, so I don't know if I really want to promote them. Interstellaria, maybe? I don't know. That was a really weird game, but... maybe I'll do that next. I haven't played that game in a while. I kind of half remember what it was about. Interstellaria, everything, a Steam guide to being awesome and quite rich. Yeah, I think I'm just going to close up the stream for the moment because there doesn't seem to be going on. We're getting like maybe a trickle of people in here, and what we are. Wait, no, okay, never mind. Every time I'm about to do that, somebody pops up. Hello, atheist underscore sword. That's got to be a very interesting sword edge. Like +5 to deities and demigods. Actually, hold on. Because I've got to incorporate that into a Pathfinder game now. Let's see. Atheist sword. +X versus clerics, deities, and demigods. So anything of the mystical persuasion. And it will be, and just for kicks, it will be activated by the code words, "I can't believe this." There was a popular B movie one. It was like something like Jesus Christ Vampire Slayer, and I think I watched it just because I was curious as to what it would produce. I wasn't expecting it to be really good, and quite frankly, it wasn't really good. But well, the scene that I actually got a kick out of was it's like this little itty bitty clown car, and these atheists are coming out of it by the truckload to try and beat up Jesus. Okay, and of course, predictably enough, Jesus starts beating the crap out of them. And one of them finally goes, "I don't believe this," before getting knocked out. And they had like the traditional social justice warrior look of like the half shaved, curled over hair, like they're trying to be like a punk hipster or something that's like tie-dyed in a color or two, mixed with like an emo look. And so I'm just sitting there watching this, and I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. Just the whole thing was just really wrong on so many levels, but just the kicker of a bunch of atheists getting their butt kicked by Jesus, and one of them just taps out with, "I don't believe this." Okay, I see what you did there, and I gotta admit, the movie was lousy, but that scene was hilarious. That was freaking hilarious, man. I just, wow. And I will watch stuff just to kind of see. Not nearly as bad as like Samurai Cop though, because holy crap, Samurai Cop. Which they have that on like Rift Tracks, so I could actually watch that for free through like Amazon Prime. I probably could do a stream from that, just not monetize it. But I don't think anybody would really like that movie. I sat there just because I was like, holy cow. The bad guy looks like the person that grew fights at the beginning of like the new Despicable Me, except Chinese. He had that weird bad like mullet going on. That's what it is. And everybody's gone again. It's like the moment I start that I keep saying that I'm going to close up the stream, then people come in. And then when I start talking, it's like, okay, hold on, I found a topic, I'll start talking, then everybody disappears again. Alright, well, you know what? This has gone on for about 2 hours. I really do need to finish my wings and all that good stuff, so I think this is where I'm just going to go ahead and close it up. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I will be on my YouTube channel, Nishi Statum, NICHISTAEUM. And you can find me there. And I will pop up there, or it's in my profile, either one or the other. And we'll play some video games. Something. Ish. Later.